Good morning, my dear students. Today we have discussed about the disadvantages of using fertilizers and also about irrigation. Okay, and we know that the fertilizers are very important in crop cultivation. They will add certain nutrients like potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus to the soil in a higher quantity. But yet there are lots of disadvantages too, because when we apply the fertilizers to the soil, it will run away, or it is carried out through the rainfall, or it is washed out by irrigation to the lakes, ponds, rivers like water bodies. Okay, when it reaches such kind of water bodies, that will cause us water pollution, and also it will makes the water unfit for human consumption. Okay, and when it reaches the water bodies, it causes damage to the aquatic organism and also aquatic plants. So these are the disadvantages of using fertilizers. And then there is an activity in your textbook to show that the growth of seedlings with manures and fertilizers. We can observe the growth of seedlings with both manures and fertilizer, and that will be shared in School Beat app. So coming to the next topic, that is irrigation. We know that proper irrigation is very much important for the growth of plants. So there are certain reasons why the irrigation is important. Now let us discuss each of this in detail. The first reason is water is important for the proper growth and development of flowers, fruits and seeds of plant. These are the fruits, flowers, seeds. All these are the most important parts of a plant. So for the proper growth and development of these parts, water is very much important. And water is absorbed by the roots. Along with water, minerals and fertilizers are also absorbed. Okay, so water is a medium for the conduction of minerals and like nutrients. And water is essential for the germination of seeds. Then water is essential for carrying out the process of photosynthesis to make food. We know that for the water is one of the most important requirement for photosynthesis. Okay, and water also protects the crop from both frost and hot air currents. Then water dissolves the nutrients that are transported to each part of the plant. Through water, it acts as a channel for the conduction of minerals and nutrients to all part of the plant with the help of a special tissue called xylem vessels, right? So these are the reason why irrigation is important. And there is a definition for irrigation: the supply of water to the crop plant at regular intervals through the certain sources other than rain is called as irrigation. And when the irrigation is done, there should be taken care of certain factors. Based on the time and frequency of water is to be applied, there are different factors are to be considered. The first one is nature of crop plant. The second one is nature of soil. Then the third one is season when the crop grows. Now let us discuss each of this in detail. First thing is crop based irrigation. We know that there are different types of crops are there, and based on that the time and frequencies of irrigation should also vary. For example, in the case of rice plant, it must have a higher water quantity, or it needs a water rich area. It requires a standing water and continuous water supply. So, and in the case of wheat and cotton plant, it requires only few or only a less quantity of water. So these are the different types of crops, and based on the nature of that crops, we should apply, or the time and frequency of water is to be applied should also changes. The second thing is soil based irrigation. We know that there are different types of soil like loamy soil, sandy soil, clay soil, etc. And based on that, the irrigation should vary. If it is a sandy soil, their water holding capacity is very low. So the frequent irrigation should applied. And if it is a clay soil, we know that it have a higher water holding capacity and no frequent water irrigation is required. Okay, and also season based irrigation. If it is a rainy season, only a less quantity of water is required, and if it is a summer season, we know that more quantity of water is lost through the surface of plant, and so for maintaining that water balance, we should apply more quantity of water. Okay, and the next thing is sources of irrigation. The important sources are wells, tube wells, lakes, ponds, rivers, etc. And from that sources, water can be irrigated, water can be applied to the crop plants by using certain tools or by certain methods. There are two methods, traditional methods of irrigation and modern methods of irrigation. The traditional methods are followed by earlier times and the modern methods are adapted by the farmers of nowadays. Okay, and in traditional methods, certain simple devices along with the cattle and human labor are used. And that devices include mods, then chain pump, dekli, rahat, etc. And the pictures are given in your textbook itself. So just go through that. And in modern methods, there are two different methods, drip system and sprinkler system. In drip system, there is a pipe that having numerous pores, and that pipe is connected to a major pipe, and through that pores the water is coming as a drop by drop manner, and it is just at the position of roots. So no water wastage is there in a drip system. So it is a boon for the areas where water availability is very low. And also it can be applied in fruit plants, gardens, trees, etc. That's about drip irrigation. And the second thing is sprinkler irrigation. By a sprinkler system, the water is sprayed or water is sprinkled. And in sprinklers, the perpendicular pipes having a rotating nozzles at the top are called as sprinklers, and the sprinklers are joined to a main pipeline at the regular interval, and the pumps are present in this system for lifting water. When the pipe is on, the water is lifted and allowed to flow through the main pipe under pressure. And when it flows through that, through the rotating nozzles, it gets sprinkled on the crop as if it is raining. Okay, so that is a sprinkler system, and it is very useful in case of sandy soil or for the uneven land where the sufficient water is not available. Okay, and also it ensures the the even distribution of water or the uniform distribution of water to each and every plant. This is about the sprinkler system of irrigation. So these are the things that we have covered today, and the rest of the portion will be taken in our next class. Okay, thank you.